Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for an informative and exciting CLIA Global Cruise Line webinar with SeaDream Yacht Club. My name is Johanna de Guzman. I'm the Manager of Industry Relations for North American Travel Trade Membership here at CLIA, and I'm going to quickly go through some housekeeping before introducing our presenter. The webinar will run for about 45 to 50 minutes with time for questions at the end. Please feel free to type your questions and comments into the questions module of the webinar, and we will get to them at the conclusion of the presentation. This webinar is being recorded and will be posted on CLIA's YouTube channel, CLIA Global. It is my pleasure to introduce our speaker, Bob Lepisto. Bob, president of SeaDream Yacht Club, was part of the original SeaDream team assembled in September of 2001, responsible for the launch of the company. Prior to joining SeaDream, Bob was the vice president of sales for the Americas at Cunard Line and was responsible for both Cunard Line and Seabourn Cruise Line. And with that, take it away, Bob.
Thank you so much, Johanna. And before we get started, I want to just recognize and thank CLIA for what they do for our entire industry. Totally invaluable for all of us. They work tirelessly and do an incredible job, especially in Washington, D.C., when things get a little challenging, as we all know they have in the past. But great work on behalf of our industry, and most appreciated not only by the little guy, SeaDream Yacht Club, but by the big ones as well. Looking at the top of this screen, please remember throughout this presentation, it's yachting, not cruising. When Otley and I started this company now 22 years ago, we decided we wanted to provide a casually elegant, uniquely different yachting experience. And we absolutely are succeeding in doing just that. Otley is the founder and owner of our company. He was also the original founder and owner of Seabourn Cruise Line prior to selling Seabourn to Carnival Corporation many years ago. He was out of the industry for a brief period of time. But then 22 years ago, he got a small group of us together and said, let's purchase what were then known as Seabourn Goddess 1 and Seabourn Goddess 2, the smallest vessels in the Seabourn fleet. And we started our little company, SeaDream Yacht Club. Right from the start, as I indicated, we said it's yachting, not cruising. There's been no need to change that slogan. And we're delivering truly a yachting experience on these two identical mega yachts, SeaDream 1 and SeaDream 2. Now, what does that really mean? First, from a size standpoint, when we're totally full, we can hold a maximum of 56 couples who are served by 95 crew members. On most voyages, we have right at 95 to 100 guests. So from a ratio standpoint, we're really the best in the business, a 1-to-1 crew to guest ratio on most voyages. Itineraries, we go where the big ships are not. We want our guests looking out at other mega yachts as opposed to huge cruise ships. We're very successful. I'll show you some of our itineraries shortly. Also, water sports. We promote and market a yachting experience that yachting is about being on the water. So we have an incredible slide, which we've just put on this year. We've got wave runners, we've got a swimming island, kayaks, stand-upon paddle boards, you name it, we've got the water sports, and we deliver on virtually every voyage. These guests are also, these yachts are also perfect from the standpoint of dining. Yachting is about being in the outdoors, so most of our dining is done out in the open air, al fresco, we love to say. But these yachts both can have 100% of the guests dining outside or inside at any time. And as I mentioned, most of our dining is done outdoors. We also provide the guests the opportunity with their own personalized pajamas, which are a pillow gift on the first night of the voyage. But if the guests want to sleep under the stars, we make proper beds for them to do just that. Also, based on our size and the way we operate our company, we are perfect for milestone events, affinity charters. You can successfully sell a full yacht charter on SeaDream and earn $80,000 to $100,000 in one sale. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. We also just completed a dramatic renovation of both SeaDream 1 and SeaDream 2 to the tune of over $10 million. And this is what the new staterooms look like. We basically took it down to the steel, is what we say in the industry, but everything you see in that stateroom is brand new. The bedding, the furniture, the wall coverings, the lighting, the electronics, nothing was retained from the prior vessel. And you're looking at a yacht club stateroom at 195 square feet. We have 54 staterooms that basically look just like this. The only difference is if you note that large rectangular window, if you were in this stateroom on deck 2, you'd have the 2 very large portholes. All of our staterooms are outside. They're all ocean view. And again, 54 are the yacht club staterooms. Now, 16 of those yacht club staterooms do have a wall that can be removed, and they become what we call our Commodore Suite. In essence, it's a double stateroom that can be configured as you see here, with a queen size bed, a dining area, 2 couches. And a lot of couples like this. You know, they love the 2 complete separate bathrooms, the 2 complete separate closet areas. This is our Commodore Suite. Then we have 1 Admiral Suite at 400 square feet. This is on deck 4, right close to the piano bar. And our Owner's Suite, number 315 at 450 square feet. If you have a family reunion group or a small group on board, we also do some private parties in here and can have drinks as well as hors d'oeuvres served in the Owner's Suite for those who desire. Now, also with the dramatic renovation, we did all new decking everywhere throughout the entire yacht. You can see here in the pool deck area. We also installed these new couples hot tubs up top of the yacht on deck 6, forward of the golf simulator. Here again, the brand new decking everywhere, and you can see our Balinese dream beds. As I mentioned, we do provide the guests the opportunity to sleep under the stars, and when requested to do so, we make up the beds with Belgian linen, soft duvets, pillows, so it's really, really a signature moment on SeaDream to sleep under the stars. We also were the first to install Starlink. It really has been a game changer for us. You can stream sporting events from home. Absolutely great to have really fast internet when you're out at sea. A SeaDream experience is a casually elegant experience. No need for ties, tuxedos, gala gowns, or anything like that. Here's guests arriving in a typical way. Guests, when they arrive on SeaDream, are greeted by our officers, our massage therapists with cool towels, as well as beverages. Absolutely incredible service. Your clients will return from their SeaDream voyage. They'll say a few things. 1, thank you for telling me about. I'd never heard of SeaDream Yacht Club. They'll also say, I absolutely could not believe the service. I could not believe the cuisine. And I really, really did love the other guests that I met on board. Dining al fresco, as I mentioned. Even though we're dining outside and it's a casual environment, the attention to detail and the quality of the cuisine, the presentation, the service is absolutely second to none. This is Tomas, he's from Poland, one of our chefs. Our chefs are so incredible. They love interacting with the guests, they love what they do, and they make incredible cuisine presentations. We also provide the ultimate in healthy choices. If you have any clients who want vegan, if they want gluten-free, basically whatever they want, they can get it on SeaDream, and they get it presented in an absolutely gourmet way. I mentioned the water sports. Look at this gentleman, I think it's gentleman coming down our 3-level water slide. We put those on this year. Guests are absolutely loving them. And we use them both in the Mediterranean as well as the Caribbean. We also have, as I mentioned, the swimming islands, sailboats, wave runners, banana boat, all kinds of water sports activities, and we absolutely deliver. Most of our itineraries, we love to be at anchor so the guests can be tender to shore and enjoy shore excursions, or they can be relaxing on their yacht, enjoying the water sports activities that we offer. We also have a golf simulator. We have mountain bikes on board, stand-upon paddle boards, wave runners, all kinds of great activities. Dancing at night, the two hot spots on SeaDream at night are the top of the yacht bar here, as well as the piano bar in our casino area. A lot of people question, on a yacht that small and with that few guests, how can you really have, what do you do there? Well, people absolutely love different areas of the yacht, meeting other people, enjoying dancing, as well as the piano bar and the casino. We shouldn't even really call it a casino. It's basically a gaming table adjacent to the piano bar. We are the only member of the Thai Spa Association, and we have 5 massage therapists on SeaDream 1 and 5 on SeaDream 2. We also have a beautician, as well as a spa manager, the massage therapy on board. Even on the beach, when we're in the Caribbean, when we do our beach parties, we have the massage therapist come ashore as well. Every morning, we provide the guests who are interested the opportunity to do Tai Chi and yoga. Now, from an itinerary standpoint, as I mentioned earlier, we go wherever the big ships are not. Places when we're in the Caribbean, like Canouan, St. Bart's, Ile de Sant, St. Lucia, Anguilla. We go to Saba. Nobody goes to Saba. Jos van Dyke, Norman Island, and other places like Martinique, Meru. Incredible opportunities. And during the voyage, we do our gourmet beach barbecue, as well as our champagne and caviar splash, where the crew gets in the water, serve champagne and caviar to the guests. These are just some sample itineraries. And I will tell you, we do have, we're sailing very full this year, but we do have space on some March voyages as well as April still. So if you got anybody looking for some last minute space in the Caribbean, don't think everything's 100% chock-a-block full. We also have itineraries available in November and December. And I'll also mention, we do have one voyage in November that is available to charter on an exclusive basis. So if you have someone interested in a last minute charter, don't hesitate to let myself or your sales director know. And in the Mediterranean, again, we do our best to go where the big ships are not, places like Var. We can go all the way up the river in Seville. We can back into Bonifacio, the little island, the Greek island of Hydra, Taormina, Malaga, Portofino, Monte Carlo. Great, great places in the Mediterranean. We're also small enough, as you can see, we're completely small enough to get through the Corinth Canal. And we're also incredibly fortunate that in Venice, we are still able to go all the way up the Grand Canal to the heart of Venice. We're right under the threshold that permits us to do so. So our guests are loving the fact that they can sail right up the Grand Canal on SeaDream, and they don't have to be well outside and come to Venice that way. Here's some itineraries that are still available this summer in the Mediterranean. We've got some Athens to Istanbul, Athens round trip opportunities. In August, Nice to Rome, and then later in the season, Athens to Athens round trip. This 11-night voyage. As a result of what was going on, this voyage used to be going to Israel, but we did an extensive change, obviously, and this is a real incredible 11-night voyage, Athens to Athens. Also, we're now going up to Northern Europe. 25 and 26, we've got incredible voyages in Northern Europe. Here's some examples of voyages in 25. Bordeaux all the way to London as a 7-night. And when we go to London, we're going to the Tower Bridge all the way up the Thames. In Oslo to Stockholm, a 7-night voyage. An 8-night round trip Stockholm. And then toward the end of the season in Northern Europe, we're going Oslo all the way down to Bordeaux with a 10-night voyage. So some great opportunities in 25. Many of our voyages are sold out in Northern Europe, but all of these still have good space in 25 up in Northern Europe. We're so successful in 25 for Northern Europe, we're coming back May through September of 26, and these are now on the website. But a Lisbon to Bordeaux, a Bordeaux up to Oslo of 12 nights, multiple voyages all the way up to Tromsø, round trip Oslo to Tromsø or Tromsø back to Oslo. We've got 3 7-night voyages, Oslo to Bergen. We've got this really unique voyage. One of our captains is from Scotland, and this is going to feature a stop on his little island, but Bergen to Glasgow, and then Glasgow to Dublin, Dublin to Bordeaux, and Bordeaux to Lisbon. All of those are in 2026. Now, I want somebody on this call, I love to send over commission checks for a lot of commas, a lot of zeros, $100,000, $80,000, $50,000. And I've had the pleasure over the past many years to send a lot of really high commission checks to advisors who simply take the effort to plant the seed and sell charters on SeaDream Yacht Club. The ideal customer, milestone, birthday celebrations, 50th, 60th. We've done 40th birthday celebration charters on an exclusive basis. Anniversaries, weddings. We, of course, do a lot of incentive events as well, but many, many different opportunities. And when you're thinking about milestone birthdays, always think of planting the seed approximately 2 to 2.5 years in advance of that big milestone for your client. You can simply point out the unique opportunities, and SeaDream really performs incredibly well in that regard. We'll do 4 nights, we'll do 5 nights, we'll do 7-night voyages, of course, but we customize the itinerary, onboard entertainment, we can customize menus, all kinds of opportunities for milestone events. Now, here's an interesting comparison of SeaDream versus a Four Seasons Anguilla luxury resort. And I just used Four Seasons, and this is an actual quote. So I'm trying here to compare apples to apples on what it would cost at a 5-star incredible resort to do an event versus doing that similar event on SeaDream Yacht Club. The cost per person for a 5-night charter or a 5-night event at the Four Seasons Hotel, $1,210 per night. For a similar experience with all the important handling, I even put a budget for Shorex and spa. I also included the Wi-Fi cost and so forth. But the cost per person on SeaDream comes down to $850 per night. So I like to say 30% lower cost or 30% greater value opportunity. But again, the experience on SeaDream, because you're seeing St. Bart's, you're doing your incredible beach party, you have the opportunity to stop in places like Nevis, Anguilla, Norman Island, all these great opportunities, superb, superb value if you consider SeaDream. Here's an example on a per day basis, the cost, and this is just port and handling as well as the cost to hire the yacht. But a 4-night would be about $814 per day per person, or a total of somewhere around $400,000. A 5-day, a little less per day per person at $767. There's the 5-day cost from $430 to $480, and the 7-day cost in the Caribbean from $550 to $590,000. And we quote our charters with a 12% commission margin for the travel advisor. In the Mediterranean, our prices are higher in the Mediterranean, as you can see here, but right in the neighborhood of $1,000 to $1,100 per day per person to buy out the entire yacht on an exclusive full yacht charter basis. Love to assist you. Your sales directors will love to assist you in closing these charter deals. Any of the advisors who we have done charters with tell me they wish they only sold SeaDream charters because the process of doing the entire event was so smooth with our charter coordinating people. This document is available for you. It's called SeaDream Charter is Smarter. And again, there's the opportunity to earn the $50,000 to $100,000 in just one sale. We're also great for groups. Many of our voyages in the Caribbean, as well as a good number in the Mediterranean, are open for groups. We do have the 8 staterooms sold as the tour conductor, and it's 2 berths on many of the voyages in the Caribbean. In the Mediterranean, most of them, it would be 1 berth upon achieving 8, and the full berth if you hit the 16 staterooms sold. Family and friends, milestone events, yacht and country clubs, wine clubs, affinity groups, these are all good ideas, and your sales director can assist you with any of that. Sales support, printed and electronic brochures, customized flyers. We do offer a $200 bonus commission for new bookings by CLIA advisors. Travel advisor rates. If you've never sailed on SeaDream, let us know. We'd love to have you come sail with us. We do marketing co-op support, the website, and of course your sales directors. And here's our sales director team. We've got Denise out west. We've got Ashley in the Midwest, Matthew Tedeschi covering the Southeast, and Lucille DePero up in the Northeast. And Lucille covers Northeastern Canada, and Denise covers Western Canada as well. If you go to our website and you look up in the far right corner, you'll see something that says travel agent. I should change that to travel advisor, but it says travel agent. If you click on that, you'll get this screen. There's a flyer generator tool. There's an image library, a video library, brochure requests, e-brochures, all kinds of tools available for your use. Also, you can download this SeaDream Quick Reference. It covers a lot of what I've just discussed in this webinar. Connect with us in many different ways. Our reservation agents are there to assist you, as well as our sales directors. And as the president of the company now for many, many years, these are the folks that help me sleep well at night. These 95 crew members absolutely exceed our guest expectations. I really do love reading the comment cards on each and every voyage, just listening to what guests are saying. Here's from a very recent voyage. See you again next year. And incidentally, anytime you sell SeaDream, there's a great likelihood your client will rebook their next voyage while they're on board. And if they do, you get 100% credit for that booking. But here's a comment. See you again next year. We couldn't feel more like family. You all have our hearts. Overall impression of the voyage from another guest, 10. A true thanks to everyone making us feel welcome. We feel a part of the family. And these weren't related folks. They're 2 totally separate individuals. Spick and span, never saw anything out of place or in poor repair, a perfect 10. Book number 2, loved it. And again, a perfect rating of 10 overall rating of the voyage. I'm very proud of the crew for earning these recognitions. This was in last year's USA Today Reader's Choice Awards, Best Boutique Cruise Line and #1 Best Cruise Ship. There truly is a difference between our little yacht and the exceptional products offered by others in the industry. We really are uniquely different. It truly is a yachting experience, not a typical cruise experience. And I really shouldn't say typical. The the experience of everyone who gets out on any one of the CLIA lines, whether it be the large ships or smaller vessels, they have an incredible time and find superb value in the entire industry. With that, Joe, I'll have any questions that there may be.
Bob, thank you so much for sharing all the new things that SeaDream has to offer for 2024. We do have a few questions. It looks like a lot of our attendees really do like the presentation and are eager to share this information with their clients. Within that travel advisor portal that you have on the website, are they able to access these slides or this presentation or any of the information that you had on the handouts, like if they wanted to order paper or download them?
Excellent question. Yes, there is both a video library as well as a image library on the website. We've got really nice small video clips of like our champagne and caviar in the surf, our water sports, those kind of activities, as well as cuisine, as well as romance. So very nice short video clips that are available, as well as all of the images, and they're categorized by water sports or they're categorized by the renovation. So all the staterooms are all there. Of course, also e-brochures available as well.
Thank you. I'm sure that you will be hearing a lot from our travel agents once they get their hands on those resources and start talking to their clients, which is super exciting. Just to stay on the topic of clients, could you speak to what is a SeaDream client? What interest should our agents be looking for when looking for clients? And then one question that I am seeing come up a few times here is this an adult only yacht club, or are families and children allowed on board?
Very good questions. First off, we trend younger than the luxury cruise lines in general. We also trend more active, more outdoor oriented, water lovers, anyone who has their own vessel of any size. They feel like they are on their quote unquote own private yacht, and they have access to the bridge. They get to know the officers and so forth. So, you know, that's kind of the demographics. Primarily in the Mediterranean, we've got about 60 to 65% would be from North America. We do well in Australia. We do well in the UK. We do well in Scandinavia. So that would be kind of that demographic. In the Caribbean, it skews, of course, higher. North America, like 75% and 25% the rest of the world. It is not an adults only. However, we're not the right choice for couples who have small kids. We don't do any babysitting. We don't have kiddie programs at all. But if you have clients who have well-traveled teenagers who can behave, they love the water sports, they love the mountain bikes, they love getting out, the various excursions that we do. So we're really popular for families. In fact, I've got quite a few families that grew up sailing with us, and I've done 3 different weddings for the daughters of individuals who are very loyal clients, where they simply said, "Daddy and Mommy, that's where I want to get married." And we've done some great weddings of 3 or 4 nights for young ladies and their spouses who who were basically grew up on SeaDream.
So it is that family aspect for the kids who grew up and now they're having their own weddings on board. I think that is a great thing and a very unique thing to be able to say, Bob.
Absolutely. It's well, it's just a joy to see them wanting to come back and choosing. As the father of daughters, I know how challenging that whole situation with deciding what the wedding venue is and so forth. But they just absolutely have loved doing their weddings on SeaDream.
And speaking of those weddings or just special occasions that let's say they do sell the entire charter for a special occasion, are they limited to which destinations or itineraries, or do they just work with you ahead of time? And how much headway do you guys need for that?
I'll give you a perfect example. This has just happened in the last hours, basically. A gentleman in Houston, Texas, is celebrating his 50th birthday. He came to us actually through an advisor in the UK in this case. He came to us wanting to celebrate his 50th birthday in a very unique way. He selected a voyage that in 2025 from Barbados to Antigua. I had all kinds of conversations with him, and he basically said, Bob, for the first 3 nights, I want to have my best buddies, and there's going to be 12 to a maximum of 16 of us, and we want to do a golf voyage. So, and this deal was just signed actually hours ago. He's going from Barbados to Antigua, golf in St. Lucia, golf in Canoan, where we've got tee times arranged. At the end of those 3-night golf doggle, I like to call it, then the rest of his family and friends are coming on to fill the yacht for 4 nights, Antigua round trip, including Barbados, including a beach party in Nevis, including, I think, Anguilla in the itinerary as well. But that's just an example of if somebody's got a dream and they've got what they want to do for this big celebration, we will create what works for their purposes. It's going to be an interesting one for the crew of 95 serving potentially 12 golfers on those 3 nights, but you name it, we will create it. For BMW, for the Grand Prix of Monte Carlo, they wanted their automobile over our pool for the Grand Prix of Monte Carlo. We built an aluminum platform and we created that and made that happen for them.
Which I think is honestly one of the craziest and coolest things I've ever heard have been being done on a ship. But that is an amazing thing, and I'm glad that people are really taking advantage and creating those special memories aboard SeaDream with you guys.
Thank you so much.
And Bob, just to now kind of move on to life on board, I know that you spoke about your crew and how guests, so they are part of the family experience with SeaDream. Could you speak to those clients or those guests that may need accommodations in terms of, if they have a wheelchair or just have mobility, just need mobility assistance? Could you speak about that on board?
Absolutely. Yeah, both yachts have an elevator that serves deck 2 all the way up to deck 5. So someone who is wheelchair bound, they have the opportunity to, use the elevator. Those who want to come up to deck 6, our crew clearly can pick up the pick up the wheelchair, assist them in any way necessary. There's about 12 steps from deck 5 up to the top of the yacht or deck 6. Now, the fact that we're at anchor on most of the time, we do have a gangway going down to our tenders. So if somebody is wheelchair bound and absolutely can't have the ability to go up and down that gangway, they would be limited to staying on the vessel, other than when we're dockside in some cases. But the yacht is very friendly for individuals who have mobility issues, but not the perfect choice for somebody who would be better off being dockside all the time and being able to roll on and off the larger ship. The other thing about life on board, you can come to breakfast on SeaDream anywhere from 7:30 all the way up to 9:30 in the morning. Lunch goes from like 12:30 all the way to 2:30, and you can sit down for dinner anywhere from 7:30 to virtually right up to 10 o'clock at night. If you're on your own private yacht, you don't want a rigid schedule. You want to do what you want to do when you want to do it. So we try to provide the maximum in flexibility relative to the dining experience.
Thank you for sharing that. And I'm glad that you brought up dining. Could you speak about the culinary experiences or the offerings that you have aboard? And if there are clients who have any dietary needs or dietary restrictions, can they, is the culinary experience accommodating to them?
Absolutely. On every menu, you will see the healthiest of choices. And I'm talking gluten-free, vegan, I mean, you name it, we're able to deliver it. But if you're vegan, we deliver your vegan cuisine in a gourmet presentation manner. We don't just toss you a salad and so forth. Our owner is incredibly health conscious. He is vegan as well as his wife. So we wanted to go to the greatest degree to ensure that those with special dietary desires are treated just like every other guest from the standpoint of the presentation of the cuisine, the quality, and so forth. I would say that we excel dramatically within that category. And as I mentioned earlier, your clients will say the cuisine was spectacular. I couldn't be more proud of what we do from a cuisine standpoint. And again, they will also marvel at the level of service that they receive. Even if there's special requests, if somebody got on board and they say, hey, I've got my birthday and I want a carrot cake, or I want whatever special kind of cake, or here's my mom's recipe. Our chefs would love to be challenged by those kind of opportunities, and they deliver constantly, surprising the guests. Or if somebody has the, if they have our mushroom soup for dinner the first night of the voyage, and 3 nights later they make a comment to our waiter, boy, I love that mushroom soup the first night. There very likely is going to be a surprise the following night with that mushroom soup being delivered to that guest.
And I think that speaks to how much your crew really pays attention and really does care for the clients and the guests on board, to just make sure that they get what they want when they're there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And Bob, I know that you spoke about all the different itineraries that SeaDream has to offer. What would you say is your favorite destination?
I love the Caribbean because, I mean, talk about the places we go, the overnights in St. Bart's, Shoal Beach in Anguilla is second to none. The beach party at Jost Van Dyke, or we also do the beach party over at Prickly Pear in Virgin Gorda, or Meru. I mean, I used to say those are Kodak moments. Obviously, those are Instagram moments for sure. And the guests just totally love it. But if I get the question from a travel advisor, what I'd recommend considering the Mediterranean, I normally ask the question, has the guest already, or your client, have they already done a lot of the Mediterranean? And if the answer to that is no, I really love an itinerary that starts in Rome, goes down to Capri and Amalfi, down to Taormina, up to Montenegro, and we go up the fjord to Kotor in Montenegro, and then up to Croatia, ultimately into Venice. That's normally a 10 or 11 night voyage, but that kind of gives you it all. You've got the incredible shopping and the kind of excitement of Capri and Amalfi, but then you've got, you know, the beauty of going up the fjord in in Montenegro to Kotor, the really, really calm waters of Croatia, and the unique places like Var. We anchor off Dubrovnik, so we tender guests ashore to Old Town Dubrovnik. That would be a recommendation I'd make for somebody who's never done the Med and is looking for kind of the experience of it all.
And I think really any experience on SeaDream sounds amazing and very unique and very tailored to what the client wants. And speaking of that We do have a question here from one of our attendees asking for the additional costs in terms of maybe food or Wi-Fi, alcohol, gratuity. Could you speak on that, Bob?
Yeah, gratuities are included, and there's virtually no additional cost for the cuisine on board, or we don't have separate dining areas where you pay more. Obviously, we have quite a bit of caviar that's served on board, but people who want extra caviar, there can be an additional cost there. What the other part of that question was? Gratuities are included and extra gratuities are not required. There is an additional charge for Wi-Fi, but it's $100 for the week, and it's the very high speed Starlink, which is guests absolutely love. That's $100 per device. So if you're on your phone, but I've had, like at New Year's, we had guests on board wanting to stream sporting events right on their device, and they were able to do that based on the quality of the internet on board. We also have obviously complimentary spirits at a really high level. We have complimentary wines, complimentary beer, water, and so forth. We also have top shelf spirits you can pay extra for, as well as estate bottled wines in our wine cellar.
Sorry, I was on mute there, Bob. So that answered their question perfectly. And just let me take a look here. We do have about 15 minutes or so for any other questions or comments from our attendees. I do see one here about FAM sailings.
We don't do what's called FAM sailings. We would rather you, as an advisor, come on and experience SeaDream as basically one of our guests and kind of feel what it's like to be a guest on SeaDream. So we do have advisor rates that are fully available on voyages. We normally are confirming those in the neighborhood of 60 to 90 days prior to sailing. And that's really the best way to learn about and experience SeaDream, because you're feeling it as one of our guests. And the one thing I would guarantee to you, you will say, boy, those comments Bob made about exceeding guest expectations, about enjoying meeting other guests, they're so true. I just every week as I'm reading the comment cards, those are the kind of comments I'm getting. I'm so glad I found, and I would just say, we're a tiny little brand. We're probably the smallest in the industry with just the 2 little vessels. Your clients won't hear about us unless they find out about SeaDream from friends or relatives, or from you, their travel advisor. They may find us some way, shape, or form by Googling yachting or something like that, but we don't have the marketing clout of the big guys. So we're not pumping out huge amounts of direct mail. We really depend on the travel advisors to recommend us, and your clients will rebook on board, and you again get full credit when they do so.
Awesome. And Bob, could you just remind us how many guests are aboard each of the SeaDream yachts?
The maximum is 56 couples. So 112 guests maximum when we're totally full. Mm-hmm. But as I mentioned, quite a few of the times we have Commodore suites that are requested. So on most cases, it's 100 guests or 50 couples served by the 95 crew members. Joanna, one other thing I didn't mention is sure. we have a program, and you can contact your sales directors regarding this. We have a program that's called Yacht Cruising for Charity. We love being involved in charitable events where there is a live auction. And we have a system set up where it's very clear on how it works, but we do have a minimum amount that the bidding has to get to. we have that retainer that comes to SeaDream, but anything and everything in the bidding process over that retainer fee goes to the charity. And a lot of travel advisors have recommended SeaDream to charities that they know and love and respect. And we have developed, along with the travel advisor, a huge number of loyal guests over the years who first found us as a result of an auction at a charitable event somewhere in the country. And of course, the travel advisors at the event, they're oftentimes the client who got the bid high enough and got the voyage, they're bringing friends and relatives. So the travel advisor is getting the benefit of multiple bookings as a result of that one charitable event that they recommended to SeaDream, and we provided the program for.
And if any of our attendees here are listening today about that charitable program that you have, if they have a charity in mind or would like to recommend a few to you all, how can they contact you, Bob, or do they contact their BDM?
Yeah, the best is to contact your respective sales director. But as a small company, don't hesitate. If I can help out in any way, I'd channel it back to the sales director. I'm more than happy. It's so nice to see people who are doing something good for whatever the charity is, but also enjoying SeaDream. And it's very rewarding for us as well as for the travel advisor to develop business with that program.
No, for sure. I definitely think that that is a great program to have and something that I've never heard of. And a lot of our attendees here are saying they have a few charities in mind and everything like that. So that's great to share. Thank you for bringing that up, Bob. And just with us closing out now, Bob, could you go back to that slide with all of the contact information? I know that some of our attendees may have missed it. Perfect.
There we go. I'm sorry the print isn't larger. I'm I'm a more senior gentleman and it's far too small for me.
It is okay. I'm sure that a lot of our attendees will be on that portal that you have on your website, so they will be able to still get in contact with you. And Bob, just to close out here, did you have any closing words, thoughts, or things that you wanted to share in terms of tips for selling SeaDream to their clients?
Thank you, Joanna. My tip is sell with all the confidence in the world. And we're not for everyone, but there's a huge number of people who absolutely love the yachting experience with SeaDream. Many people tell me we're really like a real high-end boutique hotel that goes short distances between unique ports with all kinds of things to do. So, my recommendation is sell with all the confidence in the world, and your clients will thank you for the recommendation. And again, most likely rebook on board. And, we are here to support you in any way possible, be it a charter, be it a group, be it an individual booking. We're just so proud as a family, as SeaDream, of the experience we offer your clients.
Great. Thank you again for a wonderful webinar. A lot of our attendees are thanking you as well, Bob. All the information that you've shared has been very, very helpful to them. And so on behalf of CLIA and our attendees today, I want to say thank you for your time. And I hope everyone has a great day and a good weekend. And we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Take care. Bye.
Bye.